Welcome back. I got a email yesterday from a friend of mine, and he had been listening to the evening news and he was very upset. And one of the talking heads on the evening news and the mainstream media said, and I quote, "The Occupy Wall Street movement and the Tea Party are exactly analogous." And then he went into his, a very deep, crank the chin down to the chest and the deep gravitas voice, and the comparables are undeniable and the comparisons are absolutely, all that stuff that they do. I wanted to do some numbers. I can't help myself. I'm simplistic. I'm a numbers guy. So I went to the police departments, to the websites for the cop shops in New York City and Oakland and Washington, D.C., and I looked through their public records for arrests. Now, on the dates of the Occupy Wall Street movement in New York City and Washington, D.C. and Seattle, blah, 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 I found, without looking very hard, 4,149 arrests that were directly attributed to the Occupy Wall Street, Occupy America, whatever it is, these anarchist, socialist, collectivist bums who don't have anything better to do than lay out in the public park and, continue not to work and defecate in public and, just be, in general, a health hazard and an embarrassment to the human race. You know how many Tea Party arrests I found? And I went to every, I went news story by news story about Tea Party events, and then I cross-referenced with the local police department. How many, 4,149 was, and that's the floor. I'm sure there's more. I'd bet there's twice as many, but, that's, the Occupy movement had at least 4,149. Tea Party, 0. Yeah, they're exactly the same. Deaths associated with each of these two movements. The Occupy Wall Street movement, 7 deaths. Tea Party, 0 deaths. Rapes, Occupy Wall Street, 12. Tea Party, 0. Arson damage. Now, I'm not talking about all damage. I'm just talking about arson. Arson damage, setting fires. We had $10 million, and that was the estimate from the papers. And that's probably wrong. It's probably much higher than that, but it's these discounted prices on real estate because of the Dodd-Frank bill and the destruction of the real estate market. Tea Party arson events, 0. Okay. It's like looking in a mirror, isn't it? It's just exactly the same. Public defecation captured on camera, on YouTube, and by police officers. Occupy Party? Yes. Tea Party? No. None. 0. Anti-Semitic rants captured on video. Now this is a real tricky, as a social scientist, I have to say here, we don't know what's in people's hearts, and we can't really know what's in your head. We can't take a blood test and, shake it in the beaker and go, oh, well, you're 35% racist as opposed to 75% racist. All we can do is judge you by your behavior. Speech is an important behavior. Anti-Semitic rants captured on tape, Occupy Wall Street, 12, Tea Party, 0. Cost to the taxpayers, and this is the cost by, I think it was November 10th was the cutoff I did on this. $20 million plus. $20 million plus is where we're at. Tea Party, 0. Not only 0 cost, the Tea Party was required to post bonds and pay money on the front end and provide financial resources. Okay. Molotov cocktails thrown. 10 for the Occupy movement, 0 for the Tea Party. American flags desecrated, okay? Occupy Wall Street, 25, Tea Party, 0. There's a bunch of categories I could go through here that are just absolutely stunning. Tuberculosis outbreaks, Occupy Wall Street leads the Tea Party. Nazi Party endorsed by Occupy Wall Street, yes. Socialist Party endorsed, yes. Muslim Brotherhood endorsed by the Occupy Wall Street. Communist Party endorsed. Biden endorsed. Hugo Chavez endorsed. The Black Panthers endorsed. Hezbollah, Marxist Union, 9/11 Truthers, the Bolsheviks, the Iran government, the Ayatollah, North Korea, Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, all endorsed by the Occupy Wall Street movement. Not so much with the Tea Party. 0. All no. Now, For your friends who are on the far left who want to make this comparison and try to draw this moral equivalency between the Tea Party movement and the Occupy Wall Street movement, the Tea Party movement is comprised of people like Quan and myself who take time out from our 3 or 4 jobs, our wives, our kids, our families, to say, this is not what the Constitution allows to be done in this country. You are in violation of both the mission statement and the operating manual. The mission statement, the Declaration of Independence, has a clear vision for America that BHO doesn't share. The Constitution, limited enumerated powers, is clearly something that the president rejects, and his support for the Occupy Wall Street movement just underscores the extent to which the Tea Party is a totally separate movement. God bless you. God bless the United States.